Demonetized you.
Copyright strike.
I don't.
Copyrights.
All I'm saying is
Was someone
1-1B did
bumping
not show up.
Astroworld?
Okay, you ready? Okay, so here's 1.2. Is not going to be a really tough one for you today. You probably already know how to do all of this. It's okay though. I'm just going to repeat what you already know. I want to tell you this lesson had a lot of stuff in it, so I just said no way. I'm not going to teach you in 2 or 3 days. I made this one actually go 1, 2A, B, C, D, E. It's 5 days. Okay. So I'm not rushing you through it. You're going to probably go, okay, this pace is easy. I like this. But I want you to be successful at this. I don't want to go super fast and then lose half of you. Okay? So what are we going to do today? In this lesson, you will basically add, subtract. That's all we're going to do today. Add, subtract what? Real numbers. A real number could be like -2. It could be like 6. It could be 3 4s. Stuff like that. You're just going to add and subtract. Sometimes they're positive. Sometimes they're negative. We'll deal with it when we see it. The rest of this, all this stuff down here, this would be next week. Multiply, divide real numbers, evaluate exponents, and do the order of operations. Stuff you've done in previous courses, so it shouldn't be, this should not be a difficult lesson, but there's a lot of stuff in it, okay? All right, first off, they give you, basically, they talk about the rules. The rules for what? Adding and subtracting, but they don't ever say subtraction, because really, they just want you to look at a problem and say, I'm adding 2 numbers. What 2 numbers could it be? Either it's going to be same sign, positive plus positive, or negative plus negative. Or it could be opposite signs, like positive plus negative, or negative plus positive, okay? So they start you off with this. To add 2 real numbers with the what signs? Like signs. I'm sorry, you probably are having a hard time reading because those slides are really small. But like signs would be positive plus positive or negative plus negative. Here's the way they explain it, and this is the way I'm going to talk. But honestly, you could probably do this stuff without hearing any of this. But I'm going to tell you this is the rules of adding and subtracting positive and negative numbers. Add the absolute values. Add the absolute values and attach the common sign. That's what they're telling you to do when you have the same signs. Let me just show you quickly what they're saying. 5 plus 10. Okay? Simple, right? Answer's what? 15. But this is what they're trying to tell you. The number 5, good luck. The number 5 is positive, plus the number 10 is what? Positive. If you have positive plus positive, I always say think what? Think money. Positive 5 means you gain $5, plus positive 10 means you gain 10. Well, if you gain and you gain, you're going to end up with what kind of number? A positive. So when you add 2 positives, you get positive. This is the way they explain it, though. They say take the absolute value of each number. What's the absolute value of this? 5. What's the absolute value of this? And then what are you supposed to do? Add them. So you basically say 5 plus 10. And 5 plus 10 is 15. Okay, then they say because they're both positive, just keep the sign positive. If you win some money, plus you win some money, you're going to have money. That's a positive, right? Okay, on the flip side, what if they do this? -6 plus -4. You have same signs. A negative plus a negative. Find the absolute value. Good job. That's what they said to do. Absolute value of each one of these is, what's the absolute value of that? 6 plus, what's the absolute value of that? 4. So you just add them in your head. 6 plus 4 is 10. Now, that's not the answer. You lost $6, plus you lost $4. You lost. And so that's the rule. When you add same signs, you just keep the sign. So a positive plus positive is positive, and negative plus negative is negative. Think money. I owe my sister $6 plus I owe my brother $4. I owe 10. That's negative. Okay? A, B, C, D. Which ones have the same sign? Look at your 4 examples. Which one?
D, and then
B,
B, I heard.
D.
And D. B and D. Okay, here they are. Yep. You got a negative plus a negative, and you got a negative plus a negative. Do them. See what you do. This is kind of hard for you guys because I don't want you to do a calculator. I really don't. Just do it. Okay? You actually have to do it yourself. Take the absolute value and add them because they have the same sign. What's the absolute value of 138? What's the absolute value of negative 62? And by the way, this is you showing your work. I know you can type it in your calculator. I know you can get the answer. I don't care. I'd like to see you show a little bit of work, okay? So add down, what do you get? 10, carry the 1, add down, 10, carry the 1, 2. The answer is 200. Or is it?
Negative.
Yeah, you lost, yeah, the real problem said you lost $138 plus you lost 62, so you really lost a lot of money, okay? Think money, think money. It's so much easier to think money. A negative plus a negative is a negative. Okay, looks like you got the same thing going on here, right? Absolute value, absolute value. I did yesterday. Who's she? I sent him last night. I did. I was gonna come and give you 2 high fives because I forgot because I saw I had to sign it, so I left it on my desktop. So
she should have it.
she should have.
I'll check with her. Okay.
Well, okay.
Okay, yeah, she should.
Okay. Negative plus negative. What do? Do we add them or subtract them? Add them. 26.41, 53 cents. You add them. That's what you do. Again, this is showing work. This is 4. Add down, you get 9, 94 cents. There's nothing here, so it's really zeros. So you get what? 26.94. Got it?
No, but that's wrong.
You lost money, plus you lost more money, you're gonna lose money. Right? Good? You lost money. Right? Okay, so that's the easy one. 2 negatives added up is a negative. 2 positives added up is a positive. Okay, next. Go back. Go back. Go back. Oh, no, before. Okay. That was the easy one. This is the more difficult one. When you have 2 numbers that have what? Unlike signs. So that's a positive plus a negative plus a positive. You have to do what? Yeah, the big one is you have to subtract the lesser absolute value from the greater absolute value, and then attach the sign of the what? The greater absolute value. So the bigger number. Okay. So really quick, follow this if you can. Negative 20 plus 10. Okay, negative 20 plus 10. These are opposites, opposite signs. So what the rule is, they said to do this. Absolute value, absolute value. What's the absolute value of this? This. Take the bigger number, which one's bigger? 20. Just subtract the smaller number, 10, and you get 10. The question becomes, is it positive or is it negative? It says keep the sign of the larger absolute value. Which one's larger? 20. It's negative. So the final answer is negative 10. And that should make sense, right? You lost $20. Uh-oh. But then you gained 10 back. So where are you at? Aren't you still 10 in the hole? You lost 20, gained 10 back. You're still 10 in the hole. Okay. This stuff right here, guys, this is just a quick show you work. I mean, that's all it is. What am I doing? Am I adding the 2 of them or am I subtracting? Just show me this, and then I know you get the idea. Okay? Okay, go back to the, yeah, this one. No, not that one, sorry.
Oh, no.
These two. Okay. Tell me, you're looking at what here? Positive, negative, or negative, negative? What?
Negative, positive.
Negative, positive. Okay. Absolute value, absolute value. Which one's bigger? 84 is bigger. 14 is smaller. What are you going to do to them? Subtract. You know the answer is going to be what? 70. Now, keep the sign of what? The bigger one. It's negative, so your answer is still going to be negative, right? You're $84 in the hole. Somebody gives you $14. Well, you climb out of the hole, you're up to negative 70. You're still in the hole, but that's what I think. I think money, 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 money. Okay. Okay, keep going. Which one's bigger, absolute value? 3.2 is bigger. Okay, and you know 0.4 is this one. Opposite signs, positive, negative. What do, Adam? Subtract. Subtract, because that's what we just said. And this is like $3.20 minus 40 cents. What do you get? 2.8.
2.8.
Okay, now is it positive or is it negative? The bigger number is positive. Yeah, this is the winner, right? Okay, so you, should get that. You have $3.20 plus you owe your mom 40 cents. Okay, give her 40 cents back. You're down to this. You're still to the good. Okay. Did you know how to do all this before you came to class?
No.
Yeah, you probably did, but this is the rules of mathematics when it comes to how do I really attack these numbers, okay? Now, this next slide, right here, this one is mentioned to you because a lot of students, when they look at things like that, they don't quite understand what to do. So, what kind of number is that? I know it's 9, but positive or negative? What number is that? Is that negative 21? You see it as negative 21. Yeah? Okay. It is negative 21. Okay, but I gotta tell you something. This messes a lot of students up because they see 9 minus and they say, well, positive 21. Here's the deal. When it comes to subtraction, okay, they say, I'm just gonna show you this right here. Right there is what they want you to see. A minus B is the same as A. Change it, subtraction into what? Addition, as long as you change the next number, B, to its opposite. Let me show you. 5 minus 10 is the same as 5. Change this to what? Plus. But if you change it to plus, that number has to be changed to its opposite, right? So this is the same as this. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so 5 minus 10 is exactly the same as 5 plus negative 10. Yes? Okay, wait a minute. What if I did this? 5 minus negative 10 is the same as 5. Change that to what? Plus. Change the next number to what? Opposite. So 5 plus 10. I mean, I think you knew that coming into class. 5 minus 10 is the same as 5 plus 10. This is the rule of subtraction. Subtraction can be turned into addition as long as you add the opposite. So this one, I wouldn't look at this. I'd say 9. Instead of minus 21, I'd say plus what? Yeah. That way I can look at it and say, I got a positive plus a negative. What do I do to these numbers? Find the absolute value, right? Which one's bigger? Which one's bigger in absolute value? 21 is bigger than 9. So it'd be 21, take away 9. The answer is what? 12. Okay, is the answer really 12 or is it negative 12? Because the 21 was bigger and it was negative. Keep the sign of the larger number or the larger absolute value. Okay. This is going through this is going through the rules with you. You haven't thought of the rules for quite a long time because most of you will just hit your what? Type it into your what? Yeah. And see, you're not even thinking about the rules when you're doing this. Thinking about the rules is it's a nice thing to do for a while, but then after a while you kind of just say, I'll let my calculator handle this. Okay. See this one? See that subtraction sign? Get rid of it. Make it what? Plus, but then the next number has to be changed to its opposite. Positive. Okay, so it's really negative 2.5 plus what? 2.7. So to me, it's a positive and a negative, right? What do you do to these numbers? Add them or subtract them? If they're opposite signs, what do? You subtract, yep. So there it is. Which one's bigger? It's 2.7 minus what? 2.5, right? And the answer is? Yeah, if you think about it, it is 270 minus 250. Money. 20 cents. Do I have to put the zero? Do I have to? No. So it's 20 cents. Now the question becomes, is it positive 20 cents or am I in the hole 20 cents? Let's see here. This was positive. This is the bigger one. Keep it what? Positive 2.2. Hello, Miss Baker. Hello. Claire, do you have your car keys?
No,
She doesn't have her keys.
I got a ride with my sister. It's in my garage.
Julia, did you say?
Yeah.
She has the keys?
No, my car keys are in my garage.
Where-
They're
Which
with
car?
my dad.
Your car or your sister's car needs to be moved.
Okay,
So who has?
that's Julia. She has the keys.
Julia has the keys. You bet. Bye. I don't know. Must be something. Somebody needs to get some.
No, she parked. There was like a knocked over tree branch. And she was like, there's two parking spaces that were open, and the branch was like in front of them. And she was like, should I just pull in? And I was like, that's a bad idea. And she did anyway. So.
Okay. Well, she's got an Uber car. Okay. Next up, are you okay so far? Okay. Next up is we're just going to talk about fractions really quick. Fractions. Without reading this to you, there's two types of fractions. One is called like denominators, and one is called what? Unlike. Which one's easier? Like denominators. Okay. When you have like denominators, look at this. This should make some sense, I hope. Okay. Now this says A over C plus B over C. When you have your denominators the same, C, what do we do? Look at the denominator over here. Do we change them? No, C and C stay C. The bottom doesn't change. But what do we do to the numerators? A and B. You just add them. So where do you have common denominators in your example? Okay, A right here. Well, if you have a common denominator, 17, what do the 17s become? You don't add them. You just keep them 17. It's like you broke something into 17 parts. Just leave it. How many parts do you have? You have 5 out of 17. You have 9 out of 17. Well, how many parts is that? Yeah, and this is positive plus positive. So we know it's just simply add the two numbers. 14. That is the easy one, correct? So the hard one is when you have what? Different denominators, unlike. Well, I'm not going to read it again, but you need something called what? Same denominator. It's called the common denominator. And we always talk about the lowest common denominator, right? I mean, I can pick a denominator, but why would I pick 500 when I can pick 100 or something like that? Okay, so let's look. 8 and 12 are different. What's the common denominator? 24, I heard. Okay, let's just talk about this. 8. What does 8 go into?
2, 3.
No. We're gonna get bigger, not smaller. What's the first number 8 will go into? 16. Then what? Okay, you get what I'm doing? I'm just 8 times 2, 8 times 3, 8 times 4. Okay, what is 12 going to? 24, 36, right?
48.
Okay, do I have to go any farther? Because we're seeing it, aren't we? Now, you guys, some of you are just really pretty good at this. You probably saw 24 right away. You don't have to do that. But some of you maybe can't see it. Make a quick list. Circle the ones that they have in common. That's called the common denominator. And by the way, that's called the least common denominator. Because there are more common denominators, right? Like for instance, this would probably eventually go into 48. This would also go into 48. Should I use 48 instead?
No.
Why would it?
More work.
You want the least, because then you have less work to do. Okay? Here we go. So here's what I do. I hope you do this. 24, 24, right? Okay. So 24, 24, I need to change the top two fractions. How do I do it again? Multiply 8 by what? 3. Well, if I multiply the bottom by 3, don't I have to be fair? Multiply top. So what is it? 9 24s. And then followed by, multiply the 12 by what? How do I? 2. 2, you get 10, right? So it says 9 24s, take away 10 24s. Am I looking at 2 positives, 2 negatives, or opposites? These are opposites. Now look, change this minus sign to what? Addition. Make sure you change 10 to its opposite. So really what it says is 9 24s plus negative 10 24s. Okay? So because their signs are opposite, you will add them or subtract them? Subtract. Yeah, they're opposite signs, you subtract. Absolute value of this, absolute value of this. Which one has the bigger absolute value? Which one's bigger, 10 24s or 9 24s? 10 24s. So it's 10 24s, subtract 9 24s, right? Which is what? 1 24. And then you got to ask yourself, which one had the bigger absolute value? Which one was the bigger number, if we forget the signs? 10. 10 was negative. It's negative 124. Now remember, I will have to take your calculators away on this kind of stuff. I have to, because you can do this. You can do this with your calculator. And I will let you use your calculator, but not probably in chapter 1 sometimes. Sometimes in chapter 1 I have to take it away. You have to be able to do this yourself. Okay? Because these numbers aren't too difficult. I mean, I'm giving you numbers below 100. I think most of you can do that. All right, here comes C. I don't like C because the common denominators are not there, but what else? What else don't you like? Okay, so you're telling me this you don't like. You'd like to change it to something called, you guys remember this word at all? An improper fraction? Okay, an improper fraction is simply this right here. It's when the numerator is bigger than the denominator. Okay, how do we do this again? 5 times 1, that's 5. 5, what do we do? Plus 4. So what's that? 9 fifths. Are you okay with what I did? That's 9 fifths. Plus, what? 11 sevenths. Got it. So now I changed it to improper plus improper. And by the way, I have a positive plus a positive. Do I have common denominators? No. No, I have 5 and 7. Okay, so now you got to get them.
35.
It's what?
35.
35. Okay, guys, again, I'm not going to do this. I'll be asking you for this all the time. But for maybe the first week of school, again, this is what you do. 7, 14, 21, 28, 20, and 35. So you might need a little help there with your calculator to get that list. But there it is. 35 is the winner. Whoa, 35. Multiply and multiply. What are we multiplying by? This one multiplied by what? 7. This one, 7. What do you get? 7 times 9. 63. Yep. Okay. Alex, you got a question?
No.
7 times what here? 5. Answer? Okay, you got common denominators? This should be okay now. You're not going to change your denominator, right? You're going to get what on the bottom? 35. On the top, positive plus a positive. What do you do to them? Do you add them or do you subtract? You add. So 63 plus 55 is 118. Okay, you good? The only thing I'm going to tell you is this. Simplify your answers, which means reduce your fractions. What goes in here, what goes in there. You know, the smaller number is probably where I start. What goes into 35? 5 does. Does 5 go into here? How do you know? 5 only goes into numbers that end in
5 and 0.
5 and 0. Ends in an 8. No, 5 doesn't work. 7? The 7 goes in here. Does 7 go in there? You have no clue. Okay. Take your calculator. 118 divided by 7. Does it go in there evenly?
No.
No. What else goes in 35? 35. Does 35 go in with 118?
Sure.
No. Take your calculator. No. Is this reduced? Are we done? We're done. You know what period 1 said to me? Period 1 said this. Don't you have to change it to this? That's called a mixed number. Do you have to change it to mixed? No. You can do that, but you don't have to. This is good enough for me as long as it's reduced. Does that make sense? Okay. So, is this, oh, I don't want that. Is that okay? Is that a good enough answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good enough?
Oh, wait, no.
What guys, what goes into 6 and 33?
3.
3 should. 3 goes in here what?
Twice.
3 goes in here what?
11 times.
That's the better answer. That's what I'm getting at, okay? Your assignment is the next slide. It says 1 through what? Okay, everybody, you got 30 seconds. Get a piece of paper out in front of you, and let's just make a call. Number 8, right away. So, do number 8. I'll do it in about 30 seconds. Okay. Oh, so you're not in the folder? Oh, so you don't have 1A. So you'll get like 3 out of 5. You don't have to do that. Unless you're going home for some reason. Just get it. If you don't get it, you get 3. Okay. Are you on number 8? I'm just trying to show you like what I want you to do. That's all. Looking for a person with their book open. Oh, 13 minus 9. No.
That was my first one.
There it is. There it is. What are you looking at? Positive plus positive, negative plus negative, or negative plus positive? Negative minus 3. Okay, I need people raise their hand. One person raise their hand. What are you looking at? Yeah, Chris.
Negative 17.
So is it what Is it positive, positive, negative, negative, or negative, positive?
Negative.
Negative, negative. Can you see that? If you don't see it, do this. Ready? See that minus sign? Change it to what? Addition. And then make sure you change the next number to its opposite, which would be? Oh, so it is negative plus negative. See, if you don't know what you're looking at, you don't know what to do. Two negatives added up should be a what? No.
Negative.
Right. Two, same sign. You just take the absolute value. And guys, you can do this in your head, can't you? What's the absolute value of this? 3. And because they're both negative, I'm going to add them and get what? The next one's 17. The answer is what? The answer is 20. But because it's a negative plus a negative, you have to do what? Yeah, keep the sign. It's negative. You lost $3 plus you lost $17. Of course you lost $20. Good? That's all it is. See, but you will struggle only because you don't know what you're looking at. Did you know you were looking at a negative plus a negative? Because that got a little weird. Okay, how about just try number, I'm just going down, you got something in mind? 11? Okay.
24.
I heard 11 first, sorry. Try 11. Try it before I. Wow, this is all the same.
I did.
See, once again, if you don't know what you're looking at, you're in trouble. Help. What? This is what? That's obviously negative. That mess, what is that?
Positive.
Is it?
Yeah.
Subtraction, change it to what? Then change the next number to it. There it is. It is a positive. So because you have a negative plus a positive, what are you going to do to these two absolute values?
3.
What was the rule? Subtract them. Okay, because you're going to subtract them, which one's bigger? 18 is the bigger one. Subtract the smaller one. Answer's what? 3. Is it 3 though, or is it negative 3? Keep the sign of the bigger absolute value is positive. You had $18, you had to give mom 15. What do you have left? 3. But it's 3 to the good, right?
5 piece to you with that.
Mine,
Or
you want to do a fraction one or not?
Yeah.
I want to go to the bathroom.
Want to do a fraction one or not?
Yes.
That wasn't the question.
Which one?
24.
21?
None of you know that?
Okay, 21. What is it?
There's 3 and then
3.5
plus
plus what?
4
4/3. Okay, 4/3. There you go.
4 over, and then like the whole number's 4 and then
Okay. Okay, go. Do it. I don't have to do it. You just get going. See if you get my answer. This is the kind of problem I can't let you use your calculator because it's just, your calculator is doing all the work.
That's the purpose.
And that's okay later in the year, but in the beginning of the year, guys, I gotta know, do you know how to do this by yourself? Much easier to turn into improper if you can. Daisy, do you know how to do it? How do you change 3.5 to improper? Okay, tell me what the times.
Okay.
I think you're a step ahead of me. I think you are. I'm just asking to change this and 3.5 to like
3 times 2.
2. Okay, 2 times 3 I heard. Then what? Then add the 1. Okay,
Seven over
so 2 times 3 is 6, add 1, you get what? 7. Over what? The divisor 2, got it. 4 times, sorry, 8 times 4? 8 times 4?
32,
32 plus 3?
35,
35 over what?
8.
8. So that was the first step. And then the next step is common denominator. What do they both go into? 2 goes into 8. Good. So can't we just use 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, just use 8. Okay. 35 here and multiplied by what? 4. Get you what? 28. And it's a positive plus a positive, so this is a nice one. You just simply add them up. On the bottom, 8 and 8 makes,
16.
it doesn't make 16 because it's common denominator.
This
I
guy.
kind of tricked you a little bit there.
84.
Keep the common denominators the same. The numerators just add them up. This plus this is what? 63. Is 63 over 8 reduced?
No.
What goes in it? Both of them.
No.
2 doesn't. 4 doesn't.
None of them.
8 doesn't. Done. That's it. The answer's positive because you added 2 positives, right?
Geez, not a good day.
Oh, it's a good day. This is easy stuff.
What was I missing on this?
I get to go body kids basketball Friday.
One person.
My basketball Friday is bad because we only have one class and that's my fault.
Oh, that's a problem, bro.
Okay, yep.
We have 3 classes and 2 of them are freshmen.
Yeah, you call everybody.
Yeah, I know.
It was 100%.
I'm gonna text that.
You'll be the most.
Yep, yep.
We both realized it was time to get Santa Cruz.
I'm late.
Item. Oh, it was. Lord.
Hey, you got motion. You're lucky. These.
Yeah, I never encountered that.
Alex,
Preach
Kyle
it.
Bochner from
Yeah, no.
No, she isn't. She's. We went over this last year. When you went and got honey from her classroom. She's your school mom. Okay, whatever it is.
Have a good weekend.
Oh, you too. Thank you. Enjoy your weekend, you guys.